All righty, we are live. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Tiara Moore, founder and CEO of Black and Marine Science, and this is BIMS TV. And we are currently in our BIMS Hall. So, if you've been rocking with us all year, you know that BIMS Hall is really the space for you to be able to come and ask any questions that you may have about the organization, about marine science in general, and it really is just a dedicated time to, to be able to spend time with you all because as you know, we be in the streets. We're really trying to do a lot of work in our communities, really make a difference in marine science. So we're trying to take less meetings as an organization. So by having BIMS Hall, we can kind of just do this together. So if you're joining us on YouTube, please feel free to put your questions in the chat. Put them in the chat and we will make sure that we get them here so I can answer them. So I will give you all a few minutes to go ahead and put your questions in, ask me anything, and then we will get going. So yeah, we'll be here however long. We have questions. We don't have questions, then I'm dipping out because there's always stuff to be done. All righty, y'all, let's get going. So the most questions I've had this week, and this is always the number one questions, of course, for this time of the month is what's going on with Black and Marine Science Week. So I can go ahead and tell you, stay tuned for BIMS Dives. Our BIMS Dives this month is what is it, the 25th? Yeah, the 25th. We were going to have all of our Black and Marine Science day leads. They're going to come onto BIMS Dives and tell you everything that's going on for BIMS Week. But also be checking out on your BIMS bulletin that we just send out. We'll be sending another one with all the BIMS Week activities. But we will also, you can look on our website, you can check out our social media. But just a little tidbit is that it's going to be lit. It's going to be lit. I'm very excited about what we have planned for you this year. It's going to, make a big splash. We're going to have, keynotes, panels, workshops. We're starting it with the International Day of Service. We're going to do our scuba dive program. So there's a lot. So November 27th through December 3rd, it must be on your calendars by now. But just make sure that you are following us. Everything will be here right on YouTube, your favorite place, BIMS TV. So as long as you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, you should not miss any of BIMS Week. You don't need to register. No. Do you need to register? No. If you need to register for a specific event, you will know. We will put it on our social media. We'll send out emails. It'll be on our website. Something that we are doing, because we are a nonprofit and we do offer Black and Marine Science Week free of charge. We are going to be putting, some of the events on like Eventbrite, and then people can make donations to specific events. So again, it won't be required, like you don't have to register on Eventbrite. But if you do want to support our work in a specific program, like, oh, your homegirl is going to be speaking on a panel, you want to give her some money, you want to support that event, feel free. So you can be looking out for the Eventbrite link. So those will start dropping like within the next week or so. And so again, every time you donate to BIMS, give us any type of money, it's supporting all of the work that we do. Y'all know that I would say we don't necessarily have, a lot of volunteers at BIMS. Like working for free is over. The ancestors, they took care of that. So we definitely try to provide pay opportunities primarily. So that's what the funds go towards. And so BIMS Week is our largest event. We pay all of our speakers, all of the folks that participate, that are involved in the programming. So definitely, making a donation to support that is well received by the community. So thanks so much. All right, so that was the first question about BIMS Week. So if you are just joining us, this is BIMS Hall. This is your time to be able to just ask me any question about Black and Marine Science as an organization, or about just marine science in general. So if you are here in the Zoom room, feel free to come off of mute and ask a question directly, or you can put it in the chat. Or if you're on YouTube, feel free to just put it in the chat and we will make sure that I answer it here. All right, I'll give y'all a few minutes to think about your questions, and then I will go to the next question. Let's see, what do I have here? So folks have asked, is the scuba dive class closed? So yes, y'all, we have already selected our students for the scuba class, but thanks for asking, because we can send follow-up emails for the students that were selected. But what I want to say, we were able to provide the class to 8 students this year. The number seems small, but it's big because it's grown from what we've done in the past. But we received over, I would say, 30, 40 applications, and that's huge for us. I think it really allowed us to see the excitement for the program, that there are people in the BIMS community that want to get scuba dive certified and that want to be a part of the program. So I really, it really lets me know how we need to be fundraising, how we need to be thinking about how many times we're able to offer the program. Because it's like, if we have 50 people interested in 8 spots, like, we could do this multiple times per year. So thanks so much to everybody who did apply. We couldn't accept everyone, but we hope that you will continue to apply to our programs, and just, keep us excited about stuff. I think the most exciting thing about the applications that we received was the amount of international applications. We had a lot of folks, from outside of the US who are BIMS members apply as well. So I'm like, okay, how can we, do a program maybe there, or really get that going? So yes, unfortunately, the students had, already been selected. So if you weren't reached out to, you won't be in the class this year. But we will be offering it again next year, and hopefully it'll be even bigger and even better. So that's exciting. If you don't know what I'm talking about the BIMS Scuba Dive program. And this is a program that we've been offering. This is our third round, actually. And we have been able to get students, PADI scuba dive certified, open water certified. We cover all of the costs, the travel, everything. They don't have to pay for anything, and it's really just a cool experience. And we run this program, for a number of reasons. As we know, marine science space is predominantly white, and so is the scuba diving field is white. And we know this is a really great tool as far as scuba diving to have as a marine scientist. You can do so many, jobs: coral restoration, underwater surveys, biodiversity assessments, water collection, photography, videography, just all types of stuff. And so being able to have this as a tool under your belt is really great for the professional workforce development. And so we've been really, passionate and excited about running this program and being able to offer it free of charge to our community. So definitely check out our website for more information about the program. Yeah, that's it. It's gonna be lit. All right, let's see. So that's the scuba dive class. What else do I have here? Again, if you're just joining us, put your questions in the chat. Okay, looks like I have a marine science question. Okay, so why is 1.5C the point of no return for global warming? And is there a way to reverse it once we have passed it? Ooh, this is a big one. So this is a really good question. When we're thinking about climate change and all the impacts that climate change has specifically to the ocean, we know that the ocean largely regulates climate. So when we have things like climate change and out of control temperatures, it just throws things out of balance. And it causes problems, as you can imagine. So how, what is it, in the summertime, you get hot, and you can stand the heat for a little bit, 80, maybe cool, 85, get the air conditioning, get a little fan. 90, start getting a little uncomfortable, even with a fan. 95, you're not outside anymore. 100, 105, 110, you're miserable. You really can't survive. You can't function the same way that you could at those lower temperatures. And so that's what we're literally seeing happen with the planet. We're seeing that, hey, we used to be at this one temperature, everything was cool, like we was good. And slowly, I guess you could say slowly, it depends on how you look at it. If you're looking at a geological time versus regular time, but either way, over the years, you've seen that this temperature has increased. And so just like you, as the temperature has increased, you can't perform as well. Things start happening. And so now what we see with this 1.5 centigrade increase is that we have reached the level, we have maxed out on the comfortability. Like with the air conditioning, like we can be okay with the comfort, but if we get any higher, we're going to start getting to that point where it's like, no, bro, we can't function. We're not going to be able to do the same things that we've done. So that's what that 1.5 really is talking about, this projection of, hey, we've pushed it to the limit. Anything higher than this, we're going to start seeing just mass detriment. And it's not even funny, but it's like almost amazing to think about, as a scientist and someone watching this happening. But when you're talking about this levels of temperature, we're talking about sea level rise happening so fast and so large that we're wiping out millions of people instantly. Losses of biodiversity, extinction, all of these things happening simply because of this temperature is not functional for where we are. And so that sounds very scary to me. And it's like, we need to be, more serious in how we're thinking about it. But I think also it's serious, but it's also, you have to think about the how centigrades and how that measurement works. Because 1.5 centigrade is like, oh, is that one? Is that, what is that? That's really a very large amount in that unit in centigrade, but it's a small amount in numbers. So it will take a while to actually move it to that centigrade. And so that's why you hear people talking about we have until 2050, because you don't see, like, the temperature isn't changing a centigrade a year, 1.5 C a year. No, it's changing like maybe 0.0 something, but even that is faster than it should. So it's like we still have time, because it's almost like you see the writings on the wall. And so if we allow it to get that much higher, because we've seen a rise of a centigrade over the decades, that's what we have seen, and we've seen the conditions. So what we're saying is we can't take another change that large. So that's where we are. And I think that's why, again, knowing how temperature change does work and knowing that there is a larger time scale when you're thinking about those changes, it gives us hope about the reversal and hope about the potential to change it, the hope to educate communities who never even knew this conversation was going on, and say, hey, what can we do in our communities to change it? One community at a time, one movement at a time, one person at a time. And so I think that's the excitement that I get as a scientist, and also the leader of an organization like Black and Marine Science, because now we have a whole suite of people who have been largely left out of the conversation of climate change, but we're going to be the most impacted by impacts of climate change, like sea level rise, who didn't know it. But now we can educate folks, we can talk about it, we can bring solutions, we can write grants, we can do things that are going to make a difference by the time 2050 gets here. I definitely have hope in that. So I think it's a huge thing, and I'm glad that folks are talking about it, and it's a conversation that's coming up more, but it doesn't have to be as scary as it seems. But if it's not taken as seriously as it is, it will be very scary for us and the ones who make it to 2050. So yeah, hopefully that answered the question. If you have any follow-up, please let me know. But the climate change conversation is really important. Like, it's so interesting for me, I think, as a scientist, to see like literally how certain communities are simply impacted more, and it always is Black communities who are on that list. And like, what can we do to change that? And I think seeing movements and things like, environmental justice movements, getting, being coming out of the president's mouth, and seeing money going to organizations like the EPA to get more, environmental justice things going on, is hopeful. So I just hope we we can get money, we can get those resources to really actually do the good work that needs to be done, because it's so much bigger than just, Black people in marine science. It's about how our lives are impacted by marine science and who's going to be protected in this journey that we got going on. And it be everybody. Like, it should be everybody. So let's do this. Let's go save the planet, the ocean, all of the above. All righty. That was that question about the 1.5. Everybody's talking about 1.5. If you have any follow-up questions to that, let me know. If you're just joining us, feel free to put any questions you may have in the chat. Let me find another question. Okay. So I made a tweet today that I have the exciting challenge of creating the first Black and Marine Science benefits plan. And, some folks have tweeted me back like, oh, and I asked people like, okay, I want to make sure this is rooted in like justice and we have the best benefits plan ever. So what should be included? And I was actually really good, looking at the feedback and a lot of the questions that people were, responding to and the different feedback. And whoo, I'm glad I asked, to be honest. There is just so many things that when you're building an organization, trying to think about human rights and social justice, that you do have to consider. And I think that's just so exciting for me at BIMS. So if you are listening right now and you have thoughts, ideas, questions, comments, please do just let me know, because we're building this for y'all, literally. But some of the things that came up that I can just share with y'all, actually, some of them like are really good. Somebody said a 32-hour work week. I said, ooh, 32 hours. All right, I can get behind that. There's unlimited time off. There's, of course, all the healthcare and mental and vision. But then there was something cool about just like a wellness stipend, or like, whatever you want to do. And I think that was interesting. I was actually talking with another colleague about these wellness stipends and things that have come up. And it seems like, I don't know, maybe like super millennial kind of hippie thing, but I think that's really cool. And what my colleague was telling me about the wellness stipend is that they don't even tell you what it could be for. Like if you want to go get your nails done, like that's you. Use your wellness stipend for however makes you feel well. And I was like, oh, that's so nice. Like, I want a wellness stipend. So anyway, if y'all have any things you would like to see, any suggestions for us, please do let me know. All right, y'all, I'm getting to the end of my list of questions. Let me see if I see any more popping up. Again, if you have any more questions, I can say that this, what is it? November. Yeah, this will be the last BIMS Hall for the year. I'm pretty sure we're not going to be doing it in December, simply because just holidays. It's right after BIMS week. BIMS week is going to be so much. Then we're actually going to be doing, I can tell y'all about this. We're going to be doing 2 conferences after BIMS week. So Black and Marine Science will be running our first ever tidal wave program, and that is our conference travel grant program, where we're able to, cover folks' expenses for them to be able to present at a conference. And so we're going to be doing that at Restore America's Estuaries Conference in New Orleans. So I'm excited about that. We're also going to have a BIMS booth, and it's going to be lit in an event. Then after that, we're going to go to the American Geophysical Union Conference, AGU, in Chicago, and we're going to have a booth there. So after BIMS week, we have 2 big events, and then we shutting down. Shutting down, y'all. Shutting down. We don't email us, don't call us. Well, you can email. We're gonna get the out of office box. But this is something else that I've been thinking about and talking to some colleagues about. Is like, how can you make sure you and your team don't burn out and are taken care of, and just saying like, hey, nobody's working, because when you give the option, somebody always gonna work. But it's like, no, nobody work. Put on your out of office. If you do work, don't tell nobody. It's nothing. But I think that's something that, again, as you're creating your own organization, you can make these rules. And so I'm very just excited to just do all these things. But anyway, be looking out for more information about the Tidal Wave program for next year. If you're interested, we want to have just so many folks from BIMS coming to these conferences, really taking up space, presenting just awesome research, and not having to worry about that expense. But anyway, I told y'all all that story to let y'all know this is the last BIMS Hall of the year. Sad. I know y'all are going to be just so sad not to have these monthly chats with me. I'm going to miss y'all. It's my favorite time of the Tuesday that I do this. Because it's also, I think, the last event that I have on my calendar. I will stay maybe 1 or 2 more minutes, but yeah. Also let me know feedback for next year. We're actually, rethinking our programming. So I'm not sure if we'll do BIMS Hall next year. We might do something different. Something, just not, here lurking, just talking to the abyss. Maybe something a little different. So we'll see. As always, we're open to feedback, but I really do appreciate y'all spending this time with me. Giving me the little views that I do get for my BIMS Hall. But this is great. Like, I love talking to y'all to really see what the needs of the community are, to talk about our programs, because this is what I love to do. So yeah, I don't see any more questions coming in. Y'all have any more questions for me? If not, we might be about to shut this thing down early. Let me just take one more look at my notes, because I don't want to have any problems. Oh, the calendar for next year. This question has come up. So I think I mentioned at the last BIMS Hall that if you wanted like BIMS members or like BIMS information at an event, that you can just request that. And now is the time, because y'all, look, people is already booking. We already got stuff going on in July, June, December, already of different times of the year for 2023. So if you have a conference that you would like to see us at, if there is a fair, homecoming, anything that you would like to see BIMS at, please go ahead and get those requests in now, because 2023 is already booking up. But we want to support you however. And of course, it doesn't always necessarily have to be the full BIMS team. Like, we can also send you the materials and you can run it yourself. And we would love to see more of that. Our members stepping up to do some community events. So yes, please go ahead and get your event request in. And all you need to send us is like a link to the event. Let us know the dates. Let us know what you're looking for. Like, if you want a BIMS team member or if you just want supplies, just let us know. Put that in an email. And we'll get it going. BIMS is booming. We want to be everywhere. All righty, y'all. Still no more questions. I think we are good. Thank you so much for rocking with me this year. It's been lit. This has been BIMS Hall. Thanks so much, y'all. Have a great rest of your day.